I don't care what anyone says, Scarlet and Violet are awesome games. They're genuinely what brought my interest to Pokemon back, since I wasn't the biggest fan of Sword and Shield. I actually really liked it at first, but I just hated Dynamax so much that I couldn't really get into the competitive scene. And yeah, obviously Scarlet and Violet have their performance issues, but Terra is just so much more of an interesting mechanic than Dynamax, and I really hope it stays in the game somehow. Maybe through champions, but who knows? We don't know anything about that yet. What I like about Scarlet and Violet, though, were how the VGC regulations were able to keep us intrigued for what was coming in like the next few months for over 2 years, really. And I thought it was really well done. So I thought it'd be fun to rank all 9 Scarlet and Violet VGC regulations A through I based on how enjoyable their metagames were, how diverse the options were, and things like that. Now, obviously, any tier list is going to be subjective, and you're totally free to disagree. So let me know how you would have ranked these regulations. Alright, so here we go. Now, I don't feel that we have a need for S through D. I think I'm going to rearrange this a little bit, like this. Alright, so we got 3 tiers here. The best, alright, and not my favorite. Pretty self-explanatory, I feel like. So let's go ahead and start off with Reg A, the first reg in the game. Where else but the best? I mean, it's the first regulation in the game. So many new options that are available to you. What do we got here? I have a thing I'm looking at here. So yeah, debut of Meowscarada. Meowscarada was, I think, the most used Pokemon in the format for a while. Armarouge was really popular. Indeedee Armarouge was a really common duo. Annihilate, yeah, Mousehold Annihilate was pretty crazy. We saw a lot of Garganacl, Golden Go, Baxcalibur, King Gambit. A lot of really fun options to use. And it just felt, really fresh, new game. I mean, where else but A tier? It's definitely not going to be the highest, I'll tell you that. Spoiler. But it was really fun. Now, for Reg B just added the Paradox Pokemon, and I mean, it was not my favorite. Reg B kind of felt like the Fluttermane show. It almost felt like you were putting yourself at a disadvantage for not using Fluttermane. And let's see here. I have Cerebi pulled up here. Let me take a look at the who is newly legal. So yeah, all the Paradoxmon. Let's see. Great Tusk was pretty good. Screamtail was all right. Wolfie did win a regional with that, or was it Reg B? It might have been Reg after, but it had a Screamtail Parish Song team. Brute Bonnet was decent. Let's see, Slitherwing not great. Sandy Shocks was used on like Gravity Hypnosis teams, I think, something like that. Iron Tread's not great. Iron Bundle was really good. Iron Hands was really good. Jugulus not great. Moth was decent. Thorns not good. Roaring Moon, this was before it had knockoff, so it was good, but it wasn't amazing. And Iron Valiant, yeah, not great. So it was mainly just like use Fluttermane and Bundle and Hands, and then maybe Great Tusk or Roaring Moon thrown in here and there. But I didn't really, yeah, it was not my favorite. I just felt like too over centralizing with Fluttermane. And this is out of order here. C is next. C added, where is it? C added the Ruinous Mons, which it was the smallest change of any regulation. Just these 4 new Mons were added. That's it. And it was not my favorite. So, like, Regulation B was the Fluttermane show. Reg C kind of felt like the Chi Yu and Chen Pao show. I feel like there weren't that many. I don't even think. Let's see. I got a Pikalytics pulled up here. Yeah, Fluttermane, Chi Yu, Hands is still popular. That's what we got here. Chen Pao. Yeah, no one was really using. Let's take a look at. Whoa, Chen. Yeah, look at that. That is pretty terrible. 87th in usage. But yeah, the other ones, it wasn't that much different from Reg B, I feel like. And it just kind of got real old real quick. So yeah, not my favorite. Now Reg D, now we're talking here. Reg D was one of the best. This was the Pokemon Home update VGC regulation, basically. And if you take a look at who was newly available, there were a lot. Like, I'm talking a lot here. So let's look at the main ones here. Charizard, no, not super relevant. Dugtrio, no. Regional variants. That was something that you could do. So Hisuian Arcanine was pretty good. This was kind of an unexpected pick here. Fire, Rock, 4 times weaknesses to Water and Ground. And it was actually pretty decent, so that was cool to see. Oh god, Alolan Muck. And was Smeargle in this one? No, Smeargle wasn't in this yet. So this is before we got Muck Smeargle. But I mean, we had to get Muck to get Smeargle to have that strategy in the first place. Yeah, regional variants. The birds were all right. I feel like I didn't really see them that much. Let's see what else we got here. Sneasler didn't really pop off that much here as much as it did in later reg that we'll get to. But yeah, Heatran, Cresselia. Wow, what else we got here? Oh, the genies, of course. Tornadus was really good. Let's see. Thundurus, not great. Oh yeah, Landorus. People started using Landorus Incarnate, which was cool, as opposed to just Landorus Therian. I mean, Landorus Therian was definitely still there. Greninja, Decidueye. What else we got here? Oh yeah, Oh, yeah. How could I forget? Urshifu. This was probably it. The worst part about this was Urshifu, definitely. And we don't have Dynamax in the game anymore. I mean, I hate Dynamax anyway, but it was at least a piece of counterplay to hitting through Protect, which we now don't have anymore. Regieleki got nerfed. Its ability was changed so that it's only 30% boost instead of 50. Regidrago did not get that same treatment. Let's see, last year, Spectre, pretty much all the Legends Arceus Mons here. Ursaluna. Enamorus was pretty disappointing. Its issue is just kind of a worse Flutter Mane. Just like, why use it when you could just use Flutter Mane? Higher speed, same special attack. Actually has Stab for its secondary typing, unlike Enamorus, which I don't think it learns a single special attacking flying move. I think it just learns Fly, and I think it's that, yeah. Overquill wasn't great, but the thing is, there's just so many options. I feel like I watched a lot of Cybertron VGC at this time, and I feel like he was just pumping out a new video like every day, just because there were so many options to try. And yeah, overall Urshifu was the best in this format, but you can't deny that this regulation was awesome. Alright, Regulation E. This one was the first DLC regulation, which it just added like Ogerpon, where we got here, yeah, Regulation E. Ogerpon, some of the, Clefairy, that's a notable one. Ninetales, Alolan Ninetales, yeah. Wheezing, Galarian Wheezing, Snorlax. Those are probably the main ones. What else am I missing? Milotic was pretty good. Empoleon getting competitive was cool to find out. It wasn't amazing, but it's still an option. Gliscor came back. Let's see. Conkeldurr was decent. The Loyal 3, I think it's really the main thing here is Blood Moon Ursaluna was awesome. Dipplin and Hydrapple were not great. I'm just kind of disappointed that Super Sweet Syrup wasn't like Intimidate where you can keep reusing it over and over again. It only has one use, which is annoying. And like lowering evasiveness isn't even that big of a deal. So I don't know why they made it like that. Sinistcha was pretty good. Yeah, the Loyal 3. Let's see, Monkey Dory's pretty garbage. Okidogi is decent, and Pheasantipity was decent. And yeah, obviously Ogerpon, amazing, staple Mon that in every regulation ever since. So this one, I'm debating between the best and alright. I'll put it in alright. Maybe I'll change it later, but I don't think it didn't bring as many new options to the table compared to D, and I mean A was the first one, so it brought the whole new game with it, Now on to Regulation F, which was the second DLC. Let's take a look at the new Mons here. So this was the Indigo Disc DLC, which, if I'm not mistaken, where is it? You know what I'm looking for. Yeah, Incineroar. So this one brought Incineroar along with what else we got here? Raging Bull, Archaludon, Walking Wake, these other ones that no one really used. Raconid was pretty cool. Primarina, the Swords of Justice, Excadrill. All the starters came back, which is cool to find out. Metagross, the other Reggies, that was cool. These ones, the whatever they're called, the beasts. So, oh yeah, and Smeargle. So this is where Muck Smeargle started, and again, I mean, I'd probably like it a little less than Regulation E, maybe probably about the same. They're pretty comparable, but I definitely don't think that they brought as many options, like I said, with Regulation E as D and A did. So they're probably interchangeable. Okay, now we're on to Reg G. Reg G was single restricted. Let's take a look here. And I'm going to, correct me if I'm wrong when I'm editing this, me in the future, but this might be the first time that we had single restricted only, and then got to double restricted. But let's see here. So when you have the dogs, so Zamazenta, Zacian, the horses and the bikes, oh, and then also Terapagos, it kind of gets over centralizing with how you form your team. Not in a super bad way though. I do think that it kind of brought like a unique thing to balance your team and like your whole archetype. But I'm gonna put it in bottom of all right. The power level is getting pretty high at this point, and yeah, let's see. There were just some mons that were just not super usable. Wasn't super diverse in terms of the options. It was pretty much just like, let's see, Mewtwo, Lugia, no. Kyogre, probably yeah. Groudon, Rayquaza, no. Definitely no. Lunala, maybe, yeah. Zacian, yeah, maybe. Zamazenta's pretty good. Obviously the Calyrex Riders, and then these ones. So it's not, I wouldn't say it's super diverse in terms of what restricted you can bring. And that kind of made it a little less fun in my opinion. So bottom of all right tier is kind of where I think it belongs. Next is Regulation H, and this is the best one we've had yet. Regulation H, if you're not familiar, let's take a look here, did not add any new Pokemon. It actually banned Pokemon. Notice how all these Pokemon that were previously legal are now banned, which were legendaries, paradoxes, mythicals are always banned, but they're also included in that in the ban list. And it's crazy how if you take away a bunch of options, you actually have way more options, because it's not just like one thing is like meta. There are way more things that are meta now. So there's just so many fun options to use. I mean, obviously this was like the peak of, Sneasler was pretty terrible. Dire Claw, 120 speed with Unburden, getting put to sleep instantly. That's pretty toxic. But this is where really Golden Go really shined. Golden Go hard walls Sneasler. Sneasler was pretty much forced to use Throat Chop here in order to even touch Golden Go. And I think Golden Go was not nearly as toxic as Sneasler was. And there were just so many options. Yeah, Dragonite, really good. Archaludon, we're kind of getting to the toxic area. Electro Shot in the rain, and then Stamina with Body Press was kind of insane. But, I mean, it was manageable most of the time. Annihilate went insane here. Ursaluna Blood Moon. Regular Ursaluna was pretty good too. Kingambit, yeah. This reg was a lot of fun, and I really wish that like Showdown or something still had this up as an option to play. But yeah, Regulation H, so fun. Going from the super high power level of Reg G back down to Reg H was just so refreshing, and it really brought a lot of life to, I feel like, a lot of options that were overlooked in Reg D that were introduced finally had their chance in Reg H. So yeah, Reg H, undeniably the best. Okay, lastly, we have Reg I, which is the most recent format at the time of making this video. There might be formats after this. I don't know. I don't know how far down the alphabet they're going to go until they, release ZA in Gen 10 or whatever. But Reg I, not my favorite. I'll put it here. So double restricted is kind of insane. And like I said with Reg G, when you have the dogs, the bikes, and the horses legal, it's kind of insane. Like, the power level is pretty insanely high, and sometimes it feels like you can straight up like lose on turn 1 if you have a bad lead, or on turn 2. And it feels like wide guard is like a necessity. If you don't have wide guard, you're getting destroyed by either Terrapagos's Terra Starstorm, the Calyrex's moves. Let's see, who else has spread moves? Groudon and Kyogre have spread moves. Yeah, it feels kind of like there's not a whole lot of options. And let's take a look at who is super viable here. Reg I. So yeah, we got Calyrex Shadow, number 1, Urshifu. Again, anytime Urshifu is good is not a good meta. Rillaboom and Incineroar, obviously, I mean, when are they bad? I do like Zamazenta. Zamazenta is probably my favorite in terms of, I think it's definitely the most well-balanced restricted legendary. It doesn't have anything that's crazy powerful. Like, it doesn't have a 120 base power spread move. Its ability only activates once. It's very manageable, and I really like Zamazenta. Definitely think it's healthy for the metagame. But then you have things like Miraidon that just one-shot everything with Electro Drift in electric terrain with Hadron Engine. Or Terry Fairy Dazzling Gleam. Did I just say Terry Fairy? Fairy Terra Dazzling Gleam. Who gave this thing Dazzling Gleam? Like, seriously. Why does this have it? I don't understand. And then obviously, yeah, Tornadus, Kyogre. All these things are legal. But not the most diverse metagame. The highest power level we've had so far. I might even, I don't know. Let's see. Is it worse than C? I think it's about the same. I don't know. Yeah, probably about the same. Alright, so that is pretty much my tier list here. Now, let's see, would I change anything? So honestly, these two are pretty much interchange. I guess I'll say F is a little bit better. I mean, there are more options overall, but yeah, I think this is probably my opinion here. So yeah, what do you think? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Did I totally snub one of your picks here that you thought would be higher or lower or whatever? Let me know in the comments, and also let me know if you like these kinds of videos. This is my first time doing something like this unscripted, and maybe there's some other interesting rankings that I can do that might make for good content on this channel. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.